different way into the 21st century. Take on Iceland's strong relationship with nature and make it shake hands with the modern times. But more importantly, he has managed to unite intelligence and the heart. Because for me, Sjón has always been first and last about the heart. In my case, I really discovered the link between what the surrealists were doing and the world of Icelandic folk stories. I realized that these were two different attempts at trying to tell stories of man's life on this sometimes hostile earth, you know. And as a child, I read the folk stories and became absolutely obsessed with them. Actually, I like to tell the story of the strangest animal I came across in the Icelandic folk stories, and it might explain why I was later propelled towards surrealism. And there is an animal called the furry trout. And the furry trout looks exactly like a normal trout, but it's got fur. And it swims with the flock or the school of trouts. So when you're fishing a trout and you're catching it in nets, it can get there in between the normal trouts. And you got to be very careful, because if a man eats a furry trout, he falls pregnant. And it's a it's a dangerous thing for a male to fall pregnant. We're not made for it. And the real difficulty arises in the 9th month, because then the man has to deliver. So when I was 9 years old, I read this, and it was described quite vividly in Þjóðsögur Jóns Árnasonar, that you lay the man on a table, you spread his legs, you take the sharpest knife in the house, and you cut open his scrotum, and then you go in and fetch the child. And this was quite interesting for a 9-year-old, you know. So right from the beginning, when I started, you know, seeing and surrealist art and reading surrealist texts, you know, I got the same thrill. You know, it told me, yes, strange things can happen. We can talk about this world in strange terms.